What's up guys, Mike here, and if you're like me, whenever you're done riding your side-by-side and giving it a bath, you like to put some kind of a moisturizer on the plastic to keep it looking fresh and new. But what do you use? You've got a shelf full of different products, from traditional to non-traditional to stuff to remove bolts, all the way across the board. So which one is the best for your plastic? Which one's going to give you that good look? Which one's going to give you that water repellency? So today that's exactly what we're going to discuss, so stick around, let's find out together. I was curious to see kind of the name brand, #1 product, again, against some of the unconventional ones. So the first one's going to be SC1 High Gloss. Now, we're also going to try the Meguiar's Tire Shine, see what that does. Then we're going to give just normal Armor All a go, because I was told that the Armor All actually works better than SC1 because SC1 is more of a solvent base, this is a water base, so this won't dry out your plastic as fast as the SC1 will. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. Now, going along with the Armor All, I'm also going to try this Armor All Ultra Shine. So this is a total car one, so this is made for interior, exterior, vinyls, plastic, leather, wheels, paint, everything. So I was kind of curious to see what this would do against just a normal Armor All as well. So we're gonna give this guy a shot. I've heard a lot of people online talk about Pledge. I've never used Pledge. We're gonna give Pledge a shot, so that'll be kind of cool. WD-40. A lot of people say WD-40 works just fine. We're gonna give WD-40 a shot. In my industry, this is kind of a product we use a lot. This is called Oz Polish. It's very similar to Pledge. It just doesn't have waxes and silicones, so that may or may not be better. So we're going to give that a shot. And last but not least, as you can tell it's windy, we're going to do the baby oil. The baby oil is what I've always used. That's what I've used on my ATVs forever, and it's always done a good job. I've recently read though that the baby oil with the mineral oil can actually lift up the stickers on your ATVs and stuff. And I don't know if that's true or not. I've been using this on my 04 450R since the day I bought it. The plastics look great. And none of the stickers have peeled at all, so I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but that's one of the concerns that someone had with using baby oil. So we're going to give that a shot. So we've got 8 different options we're going to give a shot to. Now, as most of you guys know, I did a crash off-road cage on my Honda Talon. That means that I've got the stock roof and cage sitting in my backyard, so I'm going to go ahead and mask off those areas. Spray each of them on. I think I'm gonna let them sit for about an hour, make sure they get a decent penetration, wipe them off, and then I'm gonna do it kind of in week increments and kind of take a look and see what they've done. I'm gonna leave it out in the weather. It's springtime in Colorado, so the sun's really intense. We're getting the afternoon rainstorm, so we should get that normal weather, and we'll kind of keep an eye on it and see what happens. So, okay. So here is the Honda Talon roll cage with the roof on. This thing's been sitting here for a couple months now, just collecting dust. I wiped it off, but that's all I've done so far with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and mask it all off into individual squares and start applying the products. Got them all put on. I was hoping to put them on a little bit heavier and let them sit for a while, but this is just arched too much. This is running into each other. So in an attempt to somewhat keep them separated, I had to just wipe them off. I didn't wipe them off dry, I just wiped it enough to where it didn't run anymore. First impressions off the bat, this whole side actually looks really good. The CS1 looks good, the Armor All looks good, Oz Polish and the Pledge. This side looks really good, passable as it is, nice and clean. The other side with the WD-40, the tire shine and the baby oil look really splotchy and just like you poured oil on there. So we'll let these sit for about an hour. I'll come back and individually wipe them off, and then we'll let the games begin. So I was just going to go ahead and go through individually kind of each one and what I noticed while they were drying over the last 2 weeks. So we'll start with the top. The baby oil, which previously was my favorite, was the absolute worst. It initially looked okay at best. The second, it sat in our backyard, so it was in the sun and also in our sprinklers, and where we're at we have really hard water, so it gets a lot of mineral deposits. And this showed the water spots immediately. It doesn't look good now. Baby oil is not a good option for this plastic, so I'm glad I did this test because I've been using a inferior product for quite a while. The Pledge looked awesome off the bat. In fact, it looked great for the first week, and I kind of thought it was going to be one of those, you know, little gems, the hidden secrets. But about the week and a half point, all of a sudden it really wore off fast. It also showed a lot of bugs and stuff that were previously on the hood that all the other products hid. They wiped off whenever we applied it. The tire shine here, this one went on. It looked really grimy whenever I put it on. You could see all the white marks and stuff, so it wasn't the best look right off the bat, and pretty close to the baby oil as far as failing and starting to show a lot of water marks and getting dried out. So the hot shine, tire shine, not a great option. The Oz Polish. Now the Oz Polish actually somewhat surprised me. So this guy still looks really good. It probably shed the hard water marks the best out of any of them. It still looks great. I mean, that's a good option. What I did notice about it is that anytime the dust would come up, it always seemed that this square had a ton of dust stuck to it, whereas the other ones didn't have near as much. So I don't know if that really matters or not, but that's the only downfall that I noticed with the Oz Polish. It still looks really good, and it probably has the least amount of water spots. The WD-40. The WD-40 actually doesn't look terrible. This one was a lot like the hot tire shine, that it looked really, really grimy. In fact, it looks better now than it did the first week. But same thing, it's not quite as black as the rest of them are, but not a bad option. What do we do here? Oh, this was the Armor All Ultra Shine. This one was probably the third worst. This one failed pretty darn quick too. Showed watermarks, seemed to dry out really fast. So I had high hopes for that one, and that one kind of let me down. Over to Armor All, old trusty. Looks great. I mean, it did the best as far as hiding the well, next to the Oz, as far as not showing any of the hard water spots. It cleaned up great. It still has a good shine and luster to it. Armor All looks really nice. The SC1, this looked really good for a long time. It's starting to show the water marks, and a little bit it's not as shiny as it was when we applied it. But the SC1 was a lot like the Oz, that it seemed to collect dust more than the other squares did. So that's something to be cognitive about. You know, if you ride in dusty areas, that the SC1 will probably get pretty caked up. Same with the Oz, faster than the other ones. So now, kind of my plan is I'm going to do a mist water on here, just to see how they all beat up, see what that looks like. From there, I'm going to put some dirt on here, kind of scrub it in, kind of try and make it a little bit of a dirty scenario, rinse everything off, let it dry, and then see how everything looks kind of after a simulated ride and a light wash. So I would say for the water test, the SC1's number one. The Armor All Ultra is beaten up pretty good, but they're all marginally close here. But the Oz Polish, they didn't beat up at all. I'm pretty surprised to see that. Although I guess I shouldn't be, because that's the only one that doesn't have any silicone or wax in it. So I guess that shouldn't surprise me. So most of the areas are fully dry now. Again, baby oil looks terrible. The Pledge isn't doing too well. Hot tire shine's not good. The Oz actually looks surprisingly good. The WD-40 looks really good. The Armor All Ultra is the worst. The regular Armor All is probably one of the better ones. And the SC1 is actually showing quite a bit of dirt too. I'm surprised. I'm not going to let them fully dry just because you can basically tell what they're going to do at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a bath with soap and water just to simulate you coming back from the trail, giving it a bath, and then I'm going to let them dry fully. Since the wash, we let everything dry, so I'll go over kind of what everything looks like real quick. Just like before, the baby oil, no bueno, does not look good. The Pledge, same thing, not great. It's still showing a lot of the bugs and stuff from the very beginning that none of the other panels are showing. The car tire shine, again, still doesn't look great. The Oz Polish doesn't look bad. It actually cleaned up pretty good. The WD-40 really surprised me. This dried out really fast and really clean. I thought it was going to leave some residue behind. The Armor All Ultra did terrible. It still looks terrible. The Armor All, regular Armor All, is still really clean. Looks good, dried fast. Then the SC1 looks pretty good. The normal Armor All, that's probably my go-to one. After doing the test, I wouldn't have said that before, but I like it. It stayed the blackest, the cleanest. It's actually even shinier than the SC1, and it repelled all the water spots the best. It's water-based, it's UV resistant, so I like all those things about it. So that's probably my number one. That's probably my new go-to. SC1 was great. We knew it was going to be. It's got a cult following. The plastic still looks good. It really didn't fall short in any of the tests. It just didn't really seem to be better than the Armor All and some of the more common ones. So if you've got the pocketbook for it, I mean, it smells great. So definitely the SC1 is a great option. Just for me, just the overall, I didn't see in a single test where it outperformed the Armor All, and I can go to the hardware store and buy a gallon of Armor All for $7 and just keep refilling that guy. So kind of after all said and done, this is it. This is the winner. So if you're using something else, definitely try Armor All as well. If you're going in the mud, give WD-40 a shot. Don't be afraid of Pledge. I would have never put Pledge on my machines. I've just heard of a lot of people doing it, so I figured I'd give it a try. Pledge is really good. Even the orange. I heard it's supposed to be lemon. I used orange. I'm sure it'll be fine. Again, tires shine, baby oil, all that, kick it to the curb. You can really, again, I think Armor All is where it is overall with the ones that I've tested here today. Now, obviously this wasn't a real professional test. I just kind of sprayed some stuff on here, let it sit, and kind of wanted to see what it did. The reason I did this was because I was having issues with, you wash your machine, you oil it, you think everything looks great, you put it in the trailer, 2 weeks later you pull it out and it looks like garbage, and that was driving me bananas. Come to find out, it's probably because I was using baby oil. Who knew? But I also, you know, SC1, that seems to be the go-to for a lot of people, but I wanted to put it against more of the non-traditional finishes as well. That's why I want to do Pledge, baby oil, and some of these other guys that you kind of hear on the forums, but I've never used, but I thought it would be worth checking out, and I'm glad I did. Obviously we learned a lot together throughout the entire thing, but I'm also curious, you know, if you have a not so typical way you keep your plastic clean. You know, I know there's a lot of different sealants, different ceramic coatings and stuff you can put on plastic now too, and that's great, and that's not really why I was here to test what's the best product in the world. It was more or less just to test the most uncommon things that work really well to the kind of big powerhouse in the game right now. So if there's something you guys use, toothpaste, you know, something like that, deodorant, whatever you guys use, put on your plastic. I'm curious to see what you guys think. You know, I might have to do another one of these if you guys like it. Let me know what product I need to try, what I missed out on, or let me know if you found this, you know, informational. Let me know if, you know, you had never thought of, you know, maybe using one of these and now you're gonna give it a shot. So anyway, I hope you guys learned a little bit. I hope you had a little bit of fun. This was really fun for me. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I've been looking for a video like this for a while that actually has to do specifically with ATV and UTV plastic. So I couldn't find it, so I did it. Anyway, I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all of that fun stuff. I want to do more videos like this, so if you guys have any ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments. Let me know what I should be doing, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.